Hey everyone, it's been great hearing about how the groups are doing over the past couple of weeks. Specifically, one group last week talked about just the great connection that was had in that group, and that's really what this is all about. Really connecting with each other, really connecting in our relationship with God, and just being filled up to go out and to connect others with God. That's really the heartbeat of what this ministry is all about. So thank you for joining in. Thank you for valuing it. We give our time to what we value. So I thank you for valuing it and being a part of it. And maybe there's someone out there that you've been working on to, hey, come join in, come be part of our group. And maybe they haven't come yet, but don't give up. Keep being positive about it. Keep sharing with them what God's doing in the group and how you're learning some new things about God and connecting with others and just lovingly invite them to come alongside you in this journey. And I know that you'll be blessed by that. They'll be blessed by that. And God will continue to use our C3 groups in a great way as we seek to cultivate authentic followers of Christ here in the Delta. So we've been continuing in our Foundations series this week, Foundations, everyday truth for every believer's life. And so today we looked at being filled with the Spirit. And sometimes that's, especially for us Baptists, sometimes that's something kind of out there, being filled with the Spirit. What does that really mean? And we just dissected Ephesians 5:15 through 21 this morning and just kind of talked about being filled continually with the Spirit. And we looked at some Spirit-filled results. And I want to review those with you just for a brief moment. So hopefully this can be, that starting point, that springboard to enter into some questions for your group when we think about being filled with the Spirit. We talked about that there are three relationships that being filled with the Spirit will change. They will enhance. It will be different. And obviously the first one of those is going to be our relationship with God. When we are being filled with the Spirit, when we're continually in this process of seeking the Lord, seeking the Holy Spirit to speak into our lives, to guide us, to comfort us, all these different things that are done by the Holy Spirit, it's going to enhance our relationship with God. It's going to make this relationship right here more dynamic, more clear. We're going to learn some new things. We're going to apply some new things. And we're going to begin to see God move us from the point we're at to a new point. And that's one of the great results about our relationship with God being impacted by being filled with the Spirit. It's going to allow us to adore God in our there's going to be adoration in our life each and every day when we are filled with the Spirit, because when we are filled with the Spirit, we're mindful of spiritual matters and we're mindful of who God is. And that's going to lead us to adore Him. And it's going to move us into a heart condition of communicating more with Him. And that's a great place to be. And so that's one of the results that we see from being filled with the Spirit. The second relationship is the relationship to our environment. And that relationship to our environment, what's going on around us in our circles of influence, however we want to phrase that, our relation to our environment, it matters. And one way it's going to be changed is that we're going to be more grateful. We're going to see in vivid color the blessings of God more in our life. We're going to begin to see that opportunity with that colleague or that friend down the street who's de-churched or not involved in church. All these different things out there. Our antenna is going to go up, and we're going to be more aware of these. And we're going to be grateful about some things that we have in our life that maybe we've been overlooking, but we're also going to be grateful about some opportunities in our life that God has brought our way for us to engage in and to glorify Him. Finally, the last part about having results, being filled with the Spirit, relationship to others. So we're going to identify our environment. We're going to see blessings. We're going to see opportunities. We're going to see positive things out there. But we're also going to think about our interaction with others, and specifically within the church. Paul wrote about in a previous chapter of Ephesians, chapter 2, verse 4, that we're not only to look out for the interest of ourselves, but we're also to look out for the interest of others. And so that's where being Spirit-filled matters. Looking out for the interest of others. And what you're engaging here in this group is all about that. You're taking on the interest of others to pray for them, to talk with them, to share with them, to connect with them, all these different things. And so when we think about the third environment of relationship with others, it means we're going to submit to one another. As we submit to God, we're going to submit to one another. And we're going to walk arm in arm together to live out gospel purposes. That means that we're going to seek to live for God, to glorify Him. We want people to see the gospel in our lives, but we want to see opportunities to share what God's done in our life and to present the gospel and be a spirit-filled people as we are the church right here where He's planted us. So I hope those spirit-filled results help. I hope that it's a springboard for you to answer the application questions you have, but also to foster some deeper conversation about how we can identify opportunities, how can we be more grateful, and how we can live a spirit-filled life that would glorify God together. I hope you'll continue to engage in your group. I hope to see you on Sunday mornings as we continue our foundation series, because all of these truths, these everyday truths, they matter for our everyday. And I hope that you can begin to apply them and God will begin to speak to you, use you, grow you, and you'll begin to see things from the Lord that maybe you haven't seen before, and you'll begin to celebrate that, adore Him, and He'll receive all the credit for it. Hope you have a great group. God bless.